Hello, everyone. My guest today is Alaric Ong. He's got done five different businesses before, of which three of them started with zero capital and went on to generate six figures within a few short months. One of them went on to generate seven figures within 16 months. Currently, he's the founder of the largest Facebook marketing community in Singapore with over 1,400 paid students. He's also been featured in Fox, MarketWatch, and Digital Journal for interviewing six, seven, eight, and nine-figure entrepreneurs like Marcos Mora, who runs a model franchise, $120 million a year business, Grant Cardone, JT Fox, and George Ross. So, Alaric, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right. So it sounds like you're a hustler and you also have a coaching business now today. So tell me about the first business you built. When did you launch it? What year?
So in 2016, I launched a healthy food delivery business. Basically I served the largest bank in the largest bank in Singapore called DBS. Singapore, yeah. So this bank has about 10,300 employees, and we serve healthy food delivery. We serve healthy food in like bento boxes for them. Yeah.
Okay. And how did like that in 2016? How much money did you make doing that business?
Okay, so like when we just sealed the deal with DBS, like in my whole business career, I've never had a sales and marketing problem. It always is an operations problem for me. So the moment I sealed the deal with them, it was a really good deal. It's just that my operations failed within like 4 days, right? So what I learned, okay, so here's what happened. Okay, so on the first day we had like 70 orders. Second day we had about 90 orders. Okay, that would be a run rate of about 30,000 monthly recurring revenue just from just one bank. Okay, and we haven't scaled to like different banks yet. So like there's like Maybank in Singapore, HSBC, UOB, etc. But the reason why it didn't take off is because on the first day, I called everyone to come. Like, okay, so it's a healthy food delivery business. They have like 50 floors. Like this bank had 50 floors. So there's no way my operation, because we're a startup, there's no way my operations could service all 50 floors. So we'll ask everyone to come to our collection point. So when I called everyone one by one. We had 70 orders. So by the time I called the 70th order, it was like 1.5 hours after the lunch timing. So everyone started complaining because like they were receiving their food like 1.5 hours later. So I wrote a lot of emails, apologized to them and say, hey, so sorry. And the second day, I decided to SMS them instead. So I sent a text message to them, so it's faster. But on the second day, because our delivery operations, we outsource that because we are a startup. So we don't have the money to buy a lorry, like we don't have money to buy a truck and everything.
So, Alaric, sorry, just to get it, because this is a short show, so we want to try and get as much in as possible. So some quick stuff here just to get context. How old were you in 2016?
I was 19 years old in 2016. Yeah.
Okay, and how much of your own capital did you put in this business to get it started?
My partner put in $9,000. So we wanted to raise 100,000. But we realized that we didn't need that much money. We could.
Okay, so you didn't put in any. Your partner put in 9K. How did you guys split equity?
It was like I owned 30%. My partner owned 40%. My partner owned 40%. Her brother owned 30%, and we had another 40, 30, 30. Yeah, 40, 30, 30. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100%. Okay, got it. So you own 30% of that business. Didn't put any capital in. You're 19 years old. You drive sales, but then you can't keep up operations. So what happened? When did you shut the business down?
So after that, the main reason why the business didn't take off is because the main reason why the business didn't take off was because of the equity split, right? Yeah, so the business didn't work because of the equity split, because one of my partners, he had to go for national service, and so he couldn't contribute to the business anymore. So when I wanted to buy out, but I wanted to resplit the equity, he didn't want to give up his equity, even though he couldn't contribute to the business anymore. So that's why the business didn't take off. So now
when did you shut the business down?
Like 6 months into starting the business. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So shut down in 2016, that same year. Talk to me about the next business you worked on.
So after I ran a sales team, right? So I built a sales team of 140 members. I sold all kinds of stuff like tailor-made shirts, cordyceps, personal development courses, health products, etc. Yeah.
What sales team was this company built for?
This company is a network marketing company. So I joined a network marketing company, and then we built a sales team.
What's the name of the company?
It's called International Entrepreneurs Platform. Yeah, it's a Singaporean company.
Okay, and did you have equity there, or was it just like a job basically?
I didn't have equity in the company, but you run it like a business like that. Yeah. So some people run it like a self-employed, but some people run it like a business owner. Yeah.
So when you say you have 140 salespeople, what does that actually mean? Be specific.
That means okay, in network marketing they call it downlines, right? So I recruited 140 people within 10 months.
How much did they pay to sign up?
So they paid from $400 to $13,000.
Okay, 400 to 13,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many of them actually ended up building a real business where they drove a sale to a consumer, not just downline signups, but a real sale to a consumer?
At least okay, so 140 is like cumulative, right? So let's say at least 20 of them sold, yeah, at least 20 of them. At least 20 to 30 of them, yeah.
So, I mean, do you feel sort of bad signing up the other 120, making them pay 400 or 13K each, and then they didn't end up selling any products themselves at all as a salesperson? That's your number one job.
Not really, because when they sign up, they get value from the products itself. So that's how I decide whether a network marketing model is ethical or not. Is based on whether if they don't recruit other people, do they still get value from the product itself? If they feel that,
but how do you measure that? How do you measure if they get value from the product? What if they got a bunch of the product and then it's sitting in their kitchen right now and a kitchen cabinet that's never been opened in the past 10 years?
So let's say they get made-to-measure shirts, right? So if let's say they were to buy these made-to-measure shirts, even if they didn't have the opportunity to sell it, would they buy it? Or if they go for this personal development course based on the market rate, let's say they sign up maybe $1,400 for a personal development course, are there personal development courses in the market that's about $1,400? The answer is yes. So as a consumer, if they would get value, like if it's a fair market value, then that's how I define whether it's a ethical or unethical network marketing model.
The personal development course, I mean, look, if you're trying to get into business and you want to learn entrepreneurship and you sign up to an MLM company to learn, your number one thing is, can you get customers? Can you sign people up, of which only 20 of them signed up? So how can you argue that paying $1,400 to get in helps them in personal development when 120 of them never actually signed up their own customer? They never actually learned what it took to be an entrepreneur and drive their first sale.
No, but it depends. Okay, good question. I like discussing that with you, but it depends. So if let's say they go and buy a shirt and they get a shirt. So them getting the shirt is the value that they're getting itself.
No, it's not. It's if they wear the shirt. It's if they wear the shirt and it keeps them warm during the day. Not is the shirt sitting in their cabinet and never gets worn. You and I define value very differently.
But they wear the shirt, as like they do wear the shirt. So if they're getting the value from the product itself, then that's a ethical network marketing model.
Okay, so what happened in this business? This was from what, 2017 to what year?
So this was from the mid of 2016 to the mid of 2017. Yeah.
Okay, so if you signed up 140 people in your downline, sounds like it was successful. Why did it only last a year?
So the last year, like the branding of the company wasn't very good because of the previous things that they did, right? And I didn't want to be associated with the branding. That's why I left the company.
Okay, but you said you did analysis when you joined to make sure it was the best thing possible and it was ethical and everything else. And then all of a sudden the branding stopped working?
No, correct. So the business model for this current company is ethical, right? But because in the past, there were a lot of things where they didn't deliver their promise to the customers in the past few years before I joined. Okay.
That means it's not ethical.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the past. So it's like how to say, like, maybe if in the past it was not ethical, but right now they're doing something ethical, okay, and which I didn't have knowledge about the past, like I didn't have full knowledge about the past, then so the current
business model it's 2017, you're now 20 years old, you make some money selling 140 of your friends $400 plans into a network marketing company, you quit that in 2017, then what?
So after that, I started a sales and marketing agency. Yeah. So I help like hotels, property agents, insurance agents, network marketers. I help people to generate sales through, I help entrepreneurs to generate sales through like Facebook ads, digital marketing. And
how did you make money doing that? Did you take a percent of ad spend?
I charge them a retainer fee. Yeah. Okay.
How much was the fee?
It's like some pay like $2,000 a month, some pay like $1,000 a month. It really depends on the service. Yeah. Okay. But I was making about $5,000 to $10,000. Yeah, per month.
5,000 to 10,000 per month. And what was the name of the sales and marketing agency?
It was called the Apollo Method. Yeah, it was called Apollo Method Private Limited. Yeah.
The Apple Method.
Apollo Method Private Limited. Yeah. Apollo. Sorry. It was called Apollo Method. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you did that between 2017, and then is that still running today, or how long did you do that?
It kind of still is running. Like sometimes I still do done for you services for clients, so it kind of still is running today. Yeah.
How much did you make last month from the Apollo method?
About last month in terms of done for you services, I made about maybe $20,000. Yeah.
Okay, and who were some of the customers that paid you last month the $20,000? What did you do for them?
Okay, so there was a client that paid 6.7K who runs a tuition business in Myanmar. No, it's not a tuition business, a preschool business in Myanmar. There's another training company that they pay 15% of profit, 15% of revenue. They sell like emotional healing courses, spiritual courses, and all that. I've got people who okay, there's an insurance director, so they pay me 15% of what the agent makes. So let's say the agent makes 50K per year, I'll get 7.5K per year, something like that. Yeah.
And is this what you're spending most of your time on today?
I spend that at my time is spent on that and coaching. And coaching the businesses that I own equity in.
Okay, what are some of the companies that you own equity in?
So right now I own a tuition business, right? So tuition in Singapore is a hot thing. Okay, it might not be in other countries, but tuition is basically after people go to school, after like kids go to school, they have extra classes on top of their school curriculum because like the parents just don't trust the school system enough and they want like supplementary lessons. So they'll pay like $50 per hour or $75 per hour to send their kids to those extra classes. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you have a tuition business where people pay you 50 to 70
So I
dollars
own
per
20%
hour.
of a tuition business. Yeah.
Okay, so how much revenue did that do last month?
Okay, this business just started not long ago, so it's still growing. Right now, it's doing about $5,000 a month. Yeah.
Okay, and why don't you own 100%? Why don't you own 100%?
Why don't I own 100%? Because this is someone else's business, and she gives me equity in the business in exchange for advisory and like my connections and like my help in helping her to grow this business. Before she was making about 2.5K per month. Now she's making $5,000 to $7,000 a month.
Okay, so do you think she's happy with her decision to give you 20%?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, what other companies do you own equity in?
I own equity in another social media marketing agency, and right now he runs a call center that has like 5 people. Every day they set like every month they set thousands of appointments, and like about 1,000 appointments, and they're selling like government approved courses. Yeah.
How much do you own of that business?
So I own 20% of the business.
And how do you plan to make money from your equity stake in that business?
Okay, so for one, I've been receiving dividends from my businesses.
How much last month did you receive in dividends from the social media marketing agency?
Okay, so for the social media marketing agency, they are not very profitable. Okay, they did about maybe $30,000 to $50,000 in sales, but because they just
over what period of time?
Over, as in like when? Sorry,
$30,000 to $50,000 in sales when?
In a month. Like let's say last month, yeah. The highest month was about $70,000, and that quarter I made, that quarter then they paid out dividends. So only when it's profitable that I get dividends for that quarter. Yeah. So but my plan is we just own equity in these businesses because I get paid. Like I get the dividends, right? To me, passive income is always more valuable than active income. Yeah.
But it's not passive. It's not passive. In the first business, the tuition business is 20%. You said the lady gave you 20% because she wants your help and advice to grow the business. That's not passive. That takes your time, energy, and money. Same thing with the social media marketing agency.
Correct. But eventually this will be passive. Yeah.
That's the bet you're making. It's a big bet, but that's the bet you're making.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. If it doesn't happen, you end up sweating, working like crazy. The businesses stay unprofitable. You never see dividend checks, and you spend all your time, energy, and money making no money from these things.
If it doesn't work out, okay. So first of all, I'll make it work out. Okay. But if it doesn't work out, then like I deserve not to get paid, right? Because if I wasn't able to add value to the business, then I deserve not to get paid. At the same time, once it works out, so let's say I own 20%, right? My game plan would be to sell small percentages of it. Yeah. So far, like, yeah. So I'll be selling small percentages of it to cash out. So I'll be left with maybe 10% of equity, and I earn 10% of the dividends. Yeah.
And who would you be selling these equity stakes to?
So for me, I've got a network of I got 1,400 clients, right, from my coaching business. So it's not hard for me to sell Like I can just tell my students and say, hey, I have a tuition business. Do you want to own a 1% of my tuition business, 2% of my tuition business, 5% of my tuition business? You just pay maybe $50,000 or something like that. Yeah.
It's doing $5,000 a month in total revenue. Why would they pay that amount of money for a business doing that amount the whole year in revenue?
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so I have a very different model of raising funds. Okay, for this business, right, that was making, even when it was making 2.5K a month. Okay, I raised it at a 600,000. I sold shares at a $600,000 valuation. Okay, within 3 days, we raised $18,000 for 3% of the company. Okay, and people say, but why would you raise it at a $600,000 valuation? That's a 20 times P ratio. So my pitch to the investors was this. I said, okay, my game plan is to run this business, okay, even though it's a sole proprietor, like even though it's a right now it's a one-man show, okay, but I want to run it like as though it was a public listed company. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I told them this. I said, okay, so if she's making 2.5K net profit per month, okay, 2.5K net profit a month, that's 30K a year. So I say, I'm gonna sell you 1% for $6,000. Okay. Now, when you own 1% for $6,000, that means if she makes 30K per year, you're gonna get dividends of $300. Now, if you buy an investment that you get 5% dividends, means you invest 6K, you get $300 per year in dividends. That's completely passive income because they are like investors, right? Is that a pretty good deal? 5% dividends, not counting, I'm not even including capital appreciation, just the dividends alone. Would that be a good deal for them? They say, yeah, it's a pretty good deal, okay? Because if they put in a bank or they put in a fixed deposit, it's lesser than 5%. And I said, on top of that, we haven't counted the capital appreciation. So if let's say she starts making 5K per month in profit, okay, that's 60K per year. Now their shares will be worth double because the next investor won't mind paying 12K to own this same 1% so that they can get $600 per year in dividends. So that's my pitch to them. And out of the 3 investors we raised, like it was 100% closing rate. Yeah. So like this might be
that just means you're good at fundraising. The best place to fundraise is to have real customers, right? So like, listen, you can raise money all day long at crazy high valuations, but eventually the music stops and you've got to actually validate that valuation in the market. For example, publicly traded stocks, since that's the comp that you wanted to use, if they ever change their dividend lower, their stock price gets nailed. It gets hit very hard. You just told me some of these businesses, sometimes there's dividends, sometimes there's not. It's certainly not predictable, and they're doing very small amounts of revenue, right? So isn't that a bit of a dangerous thing you're getting into?
So to me, I look at it that, do I think that she will make so when I pitched up at a 600K valuation, I just look at it as, do I think that she'll make at least 2.5K per month in net profit, you know? So if she would, then
it's not worth 600 grand. Making 2.5 of net profit is not a $600,000 business. I don't care how you cut the math. Anyone listening to right now, if you take 2.5 per month times 10 months, right? So it's called 30 grand a year in revenue, in profit. That is not worth $600,000 as a business.
So how much do you think it's worth?
Well, it's not worth $600,000, right? The market, anything is worth what you can convince the market to convince it to be worth. So the fact that you convince people that it's worth 600K is fine. But my point is the music stops at some point. If you don't tell the story, it stops.
When does the music stop? The
music stops, Alaric, when you stop paying dividends. And you just told me that 2 of these businesses have not paid you personally dividends, and you're a big owner, right? So you have to stick to one of the stories here. Either you're paying dividends and you're guaranteeing them, or there's no dividends.
Okay, so she is so far she has been consistently paying, and even more than the dividends that and even I'm saying, even at the current level, even if when she was making 2.5K per month, now she's making more. But even when she was making 2.5K per month, they will be happy with getting they will be happy with the dividends that they receive. So if they invest $6,000, they get $300 a year. They are happy with that dividends. So and I tell them upfront, I tell them that, hey, if you get this kind of dividends, are you okay with that? They say, yeah, I'll be pretty happy with $300 per year dividends because it's passive income, right? So so that was the model. Like, yeah, so it's different from how and like you said, the value is based on what the market decides, right?
Yeah, Alaric, but you can control that because you're a good sales guy. That's my point. You are basically a great sales guy. I mean, you're selling me. You're trying to, you talk for 5 minutes and you sell me on an idea. You're a great salesman. Your background picture here on Zoom is you in front of a massive audience. You understand soft power. You are very good at sales, right? So it doesn't surprise me that you can convince your best friends who have money to give you money at a $600,000 valuation. That's not what I'm hitting on here. What I'm trying to understand is, how do you actually grow the actual value of this business? where the dividends can be consistent, they can be guaranteed, and you do grow revenue higher than $5,000 a month in revenue. I mean, we're talking like peanuts here. This is nothing.
Yeah. So this is why. So this is how I structured the deal. The cool thing is that this founder, she owns, let's say, 60%. She owns about 70% of the business. Okay.
You're talking about the tuition business or the social media marketing agency?
The tuition business. Let's just talk about tuition business, right? So she doesn't get paid until she doesn't get paid a salary. The money that she makes is based on the dividend that she pays out. So she decides how much of dividends she wants to pay out, but she doesn't pay out any dividends, then she herself won't have money. That's why it will motivate her to pay out more dividends if she wants more money, right? And motivated her to...
Alaric, what that means is if the business doesn't grow, she quits because she can't feed her kids because she has no salary. That's like a publicly traded CEO saying, we're not making you and giving you any salary unless you pay out dividends. Right. So guess what? They quit and they leave, and you lose talent if you don't pay out the dividend.
Correct. So
how is that cool? That's not cool.
No, but in our agreement, I made it this way. We made it this way, and we agreed on it this way. Okay, which we agree is fair. Is that if, let's say, she leaves this business and she starts another business, then what's going to happen is that she will have to split that business based on the same shareholdings. So, for example, let's say if she closes down a tuition business and she opens a baking shop or something, right? Whatever profit from the baking shop, she will still have to pay the dividends based on that. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a terrible business model, but I'll let the audience listening decide. Let's talk about your coaching business. You have 1,400 folks that pay you on a coaching basis. What are they paying you to coach them on?
To coach them on sales, marketing, and branding. Yeah, so like Facebook marketing.
Okay, so what are the 1,400 people paid you?
$500 to $5,000. Yeah.
Okay, and is it a one-time thing or is it recurring?
One time. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And when did you launch this? When was your first customer?
I launched this in 2018, around June, July 2018. Yeah.
Okay, and you would have been what, 22 at the time?
22 when I did that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, got it. So you launched in 2018. You've got 1,400 people that have paid $500. So what, you've done $700,000 in sales at least through that, the coaching business?
I've done about $1.2 million in the first 18 months. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And how much do you think you'll do this year total?
This year?
Yep.
Okay. So this year, my plans are to focus on acquiring more businesses rather than I still do coaching, like I still earn income from coaching and everything. But my main plan on why I do coaching is so that I can find more businesses to acquire. Yeah.
So why go, talking about the investors you give dividends to in the tuition business earlier, why go sell someone 3% for $18,000 when you made 1.7 million in sales over the past 18 months? Why do you need to go waste your time, energy, and money convincing someone to give you $18,000? Why wouldn't you keep that equity for yourself and take dividends yourself?
Because us raising the funds at that valuation makes that creates the valuation of that company. So like, how to say? Because if, let's say, I tell you that this company is worth $600,000, that's based on what I tell you, right? But if I was able to get 3 people to say that yes, this company was worth $600,000 and they actually voted with their pockets, right? Then that validates the idea that the valuation of this
it doesn't validate any idea. Raising capital does not validate an idea. It means you're a good salesperson.
It doesn't validate the idea, but it validates the market. It validates the...
It validates nothing except that you're a good salesperson. That's all it validates, is that you found 3 suckers to overvalue business and put in $18,000 of their own money.
I don't think they're suckers. I don't think they're suckers because they did get the dividends. They did get paid, and they will.
They don't get dividends. They don't get dividends. If there's no profit, they don't get dividends.
Yeah,
if you don't get dividends, and you're a 20% owner.
Yeah, so if they do get profit, which it has been profitable for the last 1 year.
You just told me you didn't get dividends personally as a 20% owner.
But that's a social media marketing agency. But for the tuition business, everyone got their dividends. Yeah.
Okay, so it's doing $5,000 a month total top line revenue, and everyone got dividends. Okay, great.
Yes. Yeah.
It's still not worth $600,000.
Okay, but anyway, so and I like that people don't I like that people disagree with me. I like that, and
I just want you to acknowledge that you love selling. You get a dopamine hit and you go post in your coaching group when you say, our company just passed a $600,000 valuation. We brought in 3 new investors. That turns you on. You get so excited from that. And that's why you do it. That's the only reason you do it. It's not validating the business idea. It's doing nothing else except turning you on.
Okay, if you want to put it that way, but it's more of like helping her to have a business as well, $600,000. Not so much just for me, Yeah, because I mean,
What? She can't pay herself even a salary, much less get equity value and evaluation. She can't even pay herself a freaking salary to live on if she's not paying out dividends. It's not a good business for
that
her.
forces
She's
her to
in
pay out
jail.
dividends. Okay, which is why I'm testing this model because I feel that a lot of ideas in the market, like a lot of ideas, will be are controversial. Okay, until when it's successful, then other people start copying that idea. Yeah. Okay, to be honest, I've not heard of
You're
other people
not
who do
putting
it this
somebody
way.
on the moon. It's a tuition business. We know it works. There's hundreds of tuition businesses.
Correct, but no one runs a tuition business this way. Like no one raises funds for a tuition business this way. No one. It's not about a tuition business. What I'm trying to see is, okay, does this play out? Is it win-win-win for everyone? And so far, okay, based on so far, it has been win-win-win, right? So I'm thinking, okay, so can I scale this to? Can I do this? Can I apply the same principles, the same valuation model, and everything for a bigger business? So that's my game plan. It's to see if this works, and if this works at a small level. Because if it doesn't work at a small level, it's okay. I can pay back $18,000, or it's the $18,000 went to the company, by the way. It didn't go to me, right? So it's okay. I can I can figure out how to help this company pay back the money and all that. So I just want to see whether this model works, and if it works, then I will scale that for a 50K per month business, which there is, and I will scale it to a few $100,000 a month business. It's the same. Like if it works small, it works big. If it fails small, it'll fail big.
It sounds like your biggest ability to generate wealth for yourself is to sell more coaching products. Nothing else that you've done. The food delivery business that you shut down after 6 months, the sales team and the network marketing company that you did for under 12 months after signing up 140 friends for $400 a pop, only of which 20 of them actually sold products. The tuition business now doing $5,000 a month. The Apollo method, which where you're making $5,000 to $10,000 a month on. None of those even come close to matching the sales you've done in your coaching business. So why don't you just double down on coaching business and grow that to a $10 million business?
I could, yeah. Which I am planning to do. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Alaric, appreciate your time. Thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, and I like this discussion. It's been awesome.
Where can people find you online? What's your link? Where can people learn more about you?
Just search Alaric Moses Ong. You can find me on Facebook, Alaric Moses Ong. You can find me on Instagram, ALARICONGG. And my website is www.alaricong.com.
Guys, there you have it.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Nathan, and I appreciate that.
All right, guys, cut in studio.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.